amazing. What the hell is that? Ooh. What drugs is he on? Hi everybody! How's everyone doing out there in classified captures land? This is Steve and his wife beat a shirt. And I want you to watch classified captures. A divorce can take a toll on anyone, irrespective of who you are. But what do you do when the mother of your children sends you these voicemails?
What you sent me, and I'll submit those already, but just to put them on camera, yeah.
That doesn't sound healthy, does it? It almost sounds as if the person sending them has been possessed by multiple spirits. And for many who hear this, it's funny. For the man playing, it's not. This was sent from his wife's phone, or ex-wife. She's still the mother of his kids, and they're actually going to be spending the weekend with him. The worrying thing about the scary voices is the fact that she doesn't remember sending these voicemails to him. Her phone had been with her the whole time. The only explanation is that something took over and she didn't remember what transpired after. What would you do if you were in these men's shoes? Do your kids still go with her? That's not a bear. Definitely not a bear. The uploader of this clip claims he was exploring the Amazon forest when he noticed something was out there with him. He tries to escape, but it follows him. Fortunately, it falls off just before it catches up to him. He had his camera running the whole time, and when we slow down the clip, we can tell that it's an ape, but not just any ape we're used to seeing. It's also obvious that the ape was trying to get away from him. Members of my team think it's a mutated orangutan, and while our head of paranormal investigations thinks it's a Bigfoot. Okay. I'll take a good look at it and share your own thoughts as well. If this is Loch Ness, then I'm literally getting in my car and getting up there as soon as possible. Because I would love this to be real. Wouldn't it just be amazing? What the hell is that? Oh my word. Okay. Skinwalker Ranch, man. Have you guys seen the documentary?
Experts and skeptics alike are baffled, with some calling it evidence of a dogman-type humanoid, a creature long dismissed as internet folklore.
That doesn't look much like a dogman to me. Whatever it is, it's very strange. AI, CGI, could be real, not sure. But that doesn't look like a dogman.
Sir, you okay? Stay with me. Oh my God. Back up. Move.
I know the world is a creepy place today, but nothing screams creepy like having someone silently standing behind your door in your own home and making faces like this. I'd like to tell you that it was a one-time thing, but no, this guy, or at least someone who looks like him, has been spotted in other homes in the area doing the exact same thing. Can you guess where this was recorded? No? Appalachia. Yep. I don't really need to say more at this point, right? Some think it's a skinwalker, some think the young man is possessed. A few others think he might be doing some sort of ritual. But you've seen the clip, so you tell me what you think. Have you ever walked into a place and seen the plants gossiping about you? Personally, I used to feel like the plants were teasing and making fun of me. Everyone told me I was imagining it, so I grew out of it. I was 5, by the way. This woman also heard strange sounds coming from her plants, as though they had little people living in them. Wild.
Jordan and I went on a ride, and we just came across this noise that we heard. We're going up this hill, and you can hear it in the background. I'm going to show you. I guess they're solar powered. This one actually makes sense. The other ones are just white noise.
Motion cam activated in an empty funeral home. This genuinely shocked me. Now, if you've been here for a while, you know I stay far away from spaces like funeral homes. Wouldn't anybody, though? I also don't like night shifts, and that's not the point here. This is about the funeral home on your screens, and yeah, that's a casket. It's normal for funeral homes to have caskets. What's not normal is those caskets moving on their own. This was captured by the motion camera, which means the casket really did move. The big question is what moved it? That's the mystery no one has answers to till today. And you've seen the clip, so come on, you got an answer for us? This next one reveals something many might not know. There might be aliens hiding in Buffalo, New York, and this clip might just be the needed proof. Do you see it? There's a silver-looking saucer-shaped object lying among the bags. The young man believes it's a UFO and he uploaded it on his channel. Now, people who saw it asked him to go back and get a better view. He went back the next day and it was not there. The bags were there, but not the saucer-shaped object. He believes the aliens may have noticed he saw them and left. Others are not too sure. They think his story sounds a bit too convenient. They believe he's lying. I have an option, but you guys might not like it, so I'm gonna pause here and listen to you guys instead.
Wait, this a UFO? Like, I ain't, walking through. Let me check. Hey, y'all. That shit gone. I know something. Hey. I think they saw the video and they probably flew away, y'all.
We've had walking trees on this channel before, but none have moved as effortlessly and elegantly as this guy. Tree, not guy, obviously. Anyway, the uploader was moving through the town when he saw what looked like a tree moving by itself. He initially thought his eyes were deceiving him, but stopped to record anyway. After he shared the clip with others who stated they'd seen it too, but assumed the tree had been cut down by some folks who were moving it. And while that seems logical, people who cut down trees don't move them vertically. They typically move them horizontally, lying on long trailers. So if this clip isn't doctored and you and I aren't seeing things, what could we say that this is evidence that some trees are capable of moving on their own? Imagine experiencing a bizarre phenomenon at work, reporting to your boss, and his response is, "Nah, it might be our ghost." Sounds like a funny intro, but that's exactly what happened when an employee sent the clip you're watching to his boss. His boss had complained that he never fully locked up any time he'd done with work, which was odd. He might not have a photographic memory, but even he knew that he always closed up before leaving. Speaking of photographs, the Chinese have a proverb that says, "One photograph is worth more than 1,000 words." To avoid the back and forth with his boss, he just took a picture when he was done and sent it to him. His boss then responded, asking who the person in the restaurant was, and this confused the guy until he looked closely and saw that there was actually someone standing by the purple pole with black hair wearing a white gown. The guy then told him there was no one there when he took the picture, and his boss then casually said, "No, it might be our ghost." He then explained to the guy that long before he, the owner, bought the place, someone else owned it. This person, who was a lady, then passed on shortly after an illness. Ever since her passing, there have been occasionally strange things happening at the restaurant. Yeah. He was new, so he didn't know about this. Naturally, he was shocked and shared his experience online. If you were him, would you be going back? When I spoke about the copper in her previous clip, some of you agreed it was true, but there was a few who were skeptical. To help your unbelief, I went in search of more clips. In the first clip, the cool looks beautiful, doesn't it? The lady only placed the copper in the pool around midnight, and by noon the next day, it was already looking much better. The second person tried it for their plants. He apparently had a slug infestation and wrapped copper around the stems. Do you see what's happening? The slugs were unable to cross. Problem solved. Things like this make you wonder what else they're lying to us about. I'm not sure about, This robot is taking the equivalent of ease, man. That's what this is. What drugs is he on? Yeah, oh yeah, whoa, give me another E. Give me another E. I was going through some of the comments of last week's upload, and we got this beautiful comment from Sharon Holiwa. Is that how you say it? Sharon Holiwa? And it warms my heart to know that we're helping those out of tough times and stuff like that. I think you're a fighter, honey. And I'm rooting for you, as is the whole Classified Captures team, so that's a shout out to you. Do me a favor. Okay, you're gonna pull through. Make sure you understand that. And we want you to comment more and let us know how you are doing. So we're sending you a prayer out there, Sharon. Strength, love, keep healing, honey. Now this clip made me question. I never saw myself saying, "Is the sun fake?" And before you come at me for being overly dramatic, I'm not the only one. Yeah, someone even compared it to Chicken Little. To provide a bit of context, the clip that's been playing on your screen was recorded by a man in South Dakota. He was looking into the beautiful sky one day when he noticed it didn't look as circular as he'd always remembered it to be. He whipped out his phone to record what he was seeing, and lo and behold, it's actually looking hexagonal. Now, he didn't think much of it initially until he connected it to the way the solar simulator looks. That's also a hexagonal shape. He then started asking why they have a similar shape and wondered if our sun has somehow been replaced. While I was thinking about it and what he said, I came across this comment. She's linking the 3-eye atlas stuff we spent months talking about to repair the sun. Sure, it sounds crazy and ridiculous, but, well, just pause and think about it for a minute. That looked like lightning, yes? Rick Cho, the uploader of this clip, doesn't think so, though. He claims he's seen this one too many times to know it wasn't lightning. When we asked him what he thought it might be, he simply said fast-moving UFOs. That's the last thing I expected him to say, but the seriousness in his tone made me know he was serious. Now watch it yourself, slowly and seriously, and tell me what you also see. Take a look at these pictures. They don't look quite right, yeah? And we got chairs stacked on top of each other with the cabinets open for no reason. Now, if I had to guess the first time I saw this, I would say they were kids most likely playing in the house. That's not what the uploader said, though. He typically goes to bed with everything well arranged and organized. He then wakes up to see chairs arranged weirdly with cabinets either opened or items switched up in them. He told his friends about it, and they laughed at him, saying he was sleepwalking. Personally, I would have said so if my brother came up to me and said that, not because I believed he was sleepwalking, but just to mess with him. It was the same for him, only everyone thought he was joking. He then uploaded the clip online asking what people thought, and many told him that he either had some sort of spirit or poltergeist in his house. That might be right, but the only thing that came to mind while thinking about this was Peeves from the Harry Potter books. Yeah, this is something he'd probably do. A ghost who loves to make cars crash. Who would have ever thought of that? This image comes from Louisiana, and it was captured at an accident scene. As you examine the picture, you see what looks like a person standing in the bushes, seemingly hiding and looking at everyone else. A closer look, however, and you realize its face isn't exactly normal looking. It appears deformed. Sure, it looks bad, but the story behind it is even worse. According to locals, people who survive accidents in this area usually see someone or something sitting right beside them before they crash. And when this image went viral, almost everyone was convinced this is what they were seeing. But you have to wonder, why would a ghost be trying to cause other people to crash? Does it hate being alone, or is it even a ghost at all? Looks like a person, acts like a person, but has a hand that no person has. What exactly are we looking at here? And while you try to find an answer, allow me to provide a bit of context. This clip was shared by a woman who noticed her camera had captured something very odd. The clip starts off normally, showing what looks like a person hiding behind some sort of brick. She then zoomed in, trying to identify who or what it was, and when she did, she felt like the person or being had an arm that was much larger than that of a normal human. But then again, this clip is low quality, so it could just be artifacts. Mind you, this happened late at night. After a few seconds, she didn't see the person anymore, so she retired to bed, and then she received notifications again from her phone. She checked, and the motion sensor of the security camera was signaling that there was someone outside. She checked again, and this time, the being was in the middle of a compound just chilling. Her dog runs at it barking, and the being just floats to the tree. Yeah, floats. At this point, we can tell it's floating. That leaves us wondering, what exactly are we looking at? Shout out to everyone in Mississippi. I heard you guys have been experiencing some crazy weather out there. Please stay safe, all right? And speaking of safety, maybe you guys need to take it up a notch out there. There's a possibility that a giant may be moving through your skies. I mean, pay attention to the clip that's been playing. For the first few seconds, it looks like a normal clip showing off some weather phenomenon. Once the lightning stops and we notice a large shadow in the sky. As it moves, we realize it's not merely a shadow, but something that looks humanoid. The uploader believes it's a large being moving through the skies. He uploaded it online asking if anyone else had seen it, and while some agreed and stated they'd seen it too, this user gave a more logical and grounded explanation. He claims it's a rainburst or weak tornado getting lit up by the lightning. You've seen it, so you tell me what you think. Last week, we had an ape pay someone to take rivals out, and this week it's slightly different. We got a dolphin mafia, and no, this isn't the name of a new NFL team, it's an actual mafia made up of dolphins. All it took was for the trainers to introduce a reward system, aka fish, which is the equivalent of money for us. Anytime the dolphins brought trash, she gave them a fish. Over time, one person kept a large amount of trash hidden at the bottom and only brought it up in bits for that fishy reward. Someone scream capitalism here. One seagull accidentally landed in their pool one day, and that dolphin brought it to the trainers. The reward was unprecedented. Not one or two, but 3 fishes. No, it was simply a large pile. Seeing seagulls were a higher yield of investments, it started baiting them with fish and bringing them to the trainers. It didn't do this alone, though. No. Capitalism always requires hires. It got a few others trained and had them doing this too. So yeah, a dolphin mafia, using fish to get more fish. It leaves you wondering, is the love of money truly the root of all evil? One of the frustrating yet fun things I remember growing up has to be licking my ice cream as fast as possible before it melted and dripped to my elbows, or those lemon-flavored heavenlies. Memories. The memory is so good you can taste what you're remembering, right? See how that seemingly frustrated moment as a child makes you feel good as an adult? Well, big ice cream corpos don't want that. No, in fact, they don't want your ice creams to melt at all. And all the time I've been speaking, the man in the clip has been unable to melt the ice cream even while using running water. How is that possible, you ask? Chemicals, lots of chemicals without any of the natural stuff. Now, you might want to be reading the labels of your ice creams that you buy in today's day and age. All right?
What is in this new ice cream we are feeding our kids?
Who bought ice cream recently during this heat wave?
Is it petrified alien?
Lee said what were in it. Did it yesterday? You knew exactly what were in it. Yeah.
Palm oil.
Yeah.
Birds are beautiful creatures, sure, but sometimes they seem to have other plans. Imagine this. A woman is casually holding her phone, filming herself, when suddenly, out of nowhere, a bird dives straight at her face. She barely dodges it in time. Before you brush it off as an innocent mistake, let's look at it in slow motion. The bird's flight path, laser focused on her eyes. It's almost as if it had a vendetta. A perfectly normal day turns into a new phobia unlocked. Fear of birds going straight to your face, or worse, your eyes. So the next time you see a bird flying a bit too close, maybe duck. You never know if it's just flying by or trying to make you its next target. This unsettling footage circulating on social media has sparked widespread debate. It shows a man entering a bedroom only to encounter a bizarre creature on the bed. The creature appears to have a clown-like face, the small stature of a child, and moves on all fours. Most disturbingly, it has a reptilian tail that sways unnervingly as it moves. While the footage looks startlingly realistic, many believe it to be AI-generated or heavily edited using CGI. With the advancements in AI and deepfake technology, creating lifelike yet fictional imagery has become increasingly accessible, making it challenging to discern authenticity. What do you think? Could this footage be a clever fabrication or something else entirely? Here we have another drama in the sky that left people questioning things. If you pay attention to the footage on your screen right now, you'll see a huge patch of cloud shaped like a square. The edges of the patch are so sharp and defined that it's as if someone took out a cosmic ruler and drew a square right there in the atmosphere. No gentle curves or fluffy edges here, just a stark angular interruption in the usual canvas of the sky. As fascinating as this might seem, especially for our meteorology nerds, we have to ask, who's responsible for this? Is it a natural phenomenon, or are humans at it again? Share your thoughts in the comments section. While there have been several footage of paranormal creatures, most of the time people rule them out as hoaxes. For our next footage, however, we have one that was taken by a Facebook user doing a live session. Take a look. The user was having a smoke outside at night while interacting with his audience. He had the camera pointed at the field. You can see the green grass and a streetlight, nothing out of the ordinary. Not long after that, however, something zooms by in the darkness. The creature was pale and transparent. It had long legs and its upper body looked bent downwards. I don't know what type of creature that was, but it was pretty fast. Those following the live session saw it and were puzzled. This is when the guy revealed that he'd been seeing strange things around his home. I want to believe it because the footage is live et al., but doesn't it sound a bit too convenient?
Dude, I'm telling you guys, it's not a person, bro. Look.
What the fuck is that? That's a hiker.
No, it's not, bro. That's not a person.
That's way bigger than a hiker, bro.
Bro, that's not.
What are you talking about?
Oh, fuck, it just disappeared. What the
Just go, bro.
Nope.
A family on vacation in a mountainous region captured something truly eerie. While enjoying the scenic view, they noticed a figure standing among the trees on the mountainside. At first, they thought it was just a person, but then things took a bizarre turn. The figure began a glitch, flickering in and out of sight before finally vanishing altogether. This unsettling sight left the family stunned. It clearly wasn't human, so what could it have been? A supernatural entity? A ghost? Or perhaps something even more otherworldly? I guess we'll never really know unless we visit the place, which neither Aaron nor Julius is willing to do. Oh well.
Hiker.
No, it's not, bro. That's not a person.
That's way bigger than a hiker, bro.
Bro, that's not.
What are you talking about?
Oh, fuck, it just disappeared. What the
Just go, bro.
Nope.
A woman was enjoying a peaceful day at the park when she stumbled upon something truly strange.
This lady's been standing in the same spot looking just like that. Oh my gosh, what the hell is happening right now? She's been stuck like that for 5 minutes.
She spotted another woman standing a short distance away, completely motionless. At first, it seemed unremarkable. Maybe she was lost in thought. But as the seconds turned into minutes, it became eerie. This woman had moved a muscle for over 5 minutes. It wasn't just a casual stillness either. Her posture, expression, everything about her looked frozen in time like a living statue. Interestingly, this isn't the first time such bizarre incidents have been reported. Stories of people stuck in time, seemingly frozen in place, are often labeled as matrix glitches. But what's behind these mysterious moments? Could it be a neurological condition, a strange optical illusion, or something even more baffling? Maybe it's a crack in reality itself, a brief peek behind the curtain of existence as we know it. What do you think? A simple coincidence, or proof that our world might not be as solid as it seems? Let's hear your thoughts.
This lady's been standing in the same spot looking just like that. Oh my gosh, what the hell is happening right now? She's been stuck like that for 5 minutes.
Back in 2014, a bizarre incident was captured on live television. A man named Charles Boothel was being interviewed after reporting his young son missing. He spoke to reporters describing the search efforts and the worry he claimed to feel. Then, right in the middle of the interview, the host broke in with shocking news that his son had just been found alive in the basement of his own home.
The father of the missing 12-year-old boy, Charlie, with me is his father, Charlie Bothell. Charlie, we're getting reports that your son has been found in your basement. Sir?
The man's expression changed instantly into what some viewers described as nervous panic. Investigators later discovered that the boy had been kept in a small room hidden behind a dresser in the basement. According to reports, Charles had locked him there and then gone to the media pretending his son had vanished. He was arrested and charged, but in the end he struck a plea deal. He served just 18 months in jail, avoiding a longer sentence. His son, however, was removed from his custody and placed in a safer environment. The live moment remains one of the most unsettling and surreal pieces of true crime footage ever broadcast.
The father of the missing 12-year-old boy, Charlie, with me is his father, Charlie Bothell. Charlie, we're getting reports that your son has been found in your basement. Sir? Mr. Bothell, are you...
What?
Yeah, we are getting reports that your son has been found alive in your basement.
What?
If you live in New York City, you might want to pay attention to this next one. There have been rumors of a massive underground hot blob slowly moving toward New York called the Appalachian Anomaly. Not many knew about it, at least not until this clip on your screen went viral. The clip was shared by a New York City resident. In it, we see a mysterious hole in the middle of a tarred street. At first, it looked like a regular pothole, but as he gets closer, we see there's smoke coming out of it. As the smoke drifts eerily from the opening, the edges seem to slowly melt or sink, almost as if something extremely hot was moving below the surface. That's when people started connecting the dots, suspecting that this could be linked to the Appalachian Anomaly. Scientists have allegedly confirmed unusual heat signatures in the region beneath the Appalachian Mountains, but no one knows for sure what they are or what it might do. Some speculate it's completely natural, like a slow-building geothermal phenomenon. Others think it might be a warning of a massive geological event yet to come. Given the proximity of the Appalachian Mountains and New York City, it's a strange thing that individuals in the community suspect that these two events could be related. Personally, I have my doubts, but what do you guys also think?
Yo, look at this pothole.
There's nothing there. It's like not a piece of hair, but it's like this line. I know I'm not crazy. What is that?
This next one I'm gonna need your help with. A lady allegedly noticed a line in her pool. If you know anything about water, you know lines don't just form in it unless there's something in it to cause the line or something above it to cause a reflection. If you watch the clip, you should see the lines, but here's where it gets tricky. The lady insists none of the factors I mentioned earlier exist. The line just appeared over the water. I have a hard time pushing this one down, but well, maybe, just maybe you guys can help us make sense of it.
There's nothing there. It's like not a piece of hair, but it's like this line. I know I'm not crazy. What is that?
Hey! 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 Oh my God!
An elderly couple set out for a peaceful fishing trip, but it turned into a heart-pounding ordeal. As they were on their boat, they noticed a massive ship heading straight toward them. One of them quickly realized the danger, shouting and waving to get the ship's attention, but nothing worked. With no other choice, they jumped overboard just in time before the ship crashed into their small boat. The entire incident was captured on their boat's camera, showing the terrifying collision. What could have caused this near-tragic event? Was the ship's captain asleep at the wheel, or was it an autopilot malfunction? Thankfully, the couple escaped unscathed.
Hey! 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 Oh my God!
There are so many products out there that we consume every day, but do we really know what's in them? A recent retesting of Mountain Valley water raised a few eyebrows, and this is why. Arsenic was detected in the water, though it was 40 times below the recommended limit. They also found trihalomethanes, a group of chemicals that form the byproducts during water treatment. These are about twice below the recommended level. Several other chemicals were also found, all technically within safe limits. But here's the unsettling part. Even though everything was below the recommended amount, why are these chemicals present at all in something as basic and essential as bottled water? It really makes you wonder how clean is clean and how much we actually know about the things we put into our bodies every day. Just because it's on the shelf does not necessarily mean it's safe.
We tested their 5-gallon glass bottle option last month. Here's what we found inside. There were a total of 10 contaminants along with 8 beneficial minerals detected. However, the most alarming part was arsenic at 40 times the recommended health guidelines, which could be carcinogenic, neurotoxic, and cause reproductive issues. However, it was detected below legal limits. There was also 2 times the health guideline of total trihalomethanes, along with a maximum recommended amount of nitrates.
Take a look at this footage. A mother was filming her toddler in a walker while the television played in the background. Everything seems normal until something strange happens. On the TV screen, a shadowy figure suddenly moves across the screen. This is not edited or altered in any way. According to the mother, it's raw, uncut footage of the entire incident. Some skeptics have suggested it could simply be someone who'd been recording in the original broadcast walking through the shot. But here's the strange part. The mother insists the program was live television at the time, not a replay or recording. So what exactly was that shadow? Was it just a glitch in the broadcast? Or was that a shadow person?
Today. Oh my God, what is that? Oh my God.
We still don't have the more convincing answer for our previous bonus question, but maybe this one might change that. Can anyone tell if this is real or fake? If it's real, what's its real name, and why does it look like that? Let's see how many of us can tell a conspiracy theory from the truth. All the best.
If you're in one of these alien crafts,
that's what you're going to see.
You're going to see exactly this. Not an exaggeration. Not some type of Hollywood mock-up from a first-hand witness.
Now this one actually had me puzzled for a long while. He claims this is exactly what you would find on an alien spaceship. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. This is crazy. Well, if you said that, then it's only because you don't know who that man is. Meet Bob Lazar, a controversial figure who claims to have worked on reverse engineering alien spacecraft at the secure facility called S4, allegedly near Area 51 in the late 1980s. He's described advanced propulsion systems using Element 115, which he said powered the craft through anti-gravity technology by bending space-time. Despite his claim sparking widespread interest in UFOs and Area 51, Lazar's credibility is hotly debated due to inconsistencies in his educational and professional background, which critics attribute to fabrication, while supporters believe it's part of a government cover-up. His story remains a cornerstone of modern UFO lore, blending intrigue, skepticism, and speculation about extraterrestrial technology and government secrecy. If his stories are true, then perhaps he's really been in a spaceship and knows what the interior is. If not, then, well, let's not talk about that. On to the next clip.
If you're in one of these alien crafts,
that's what you're going to see.
You're going to see exactly this. Not an exaggeration, not some type of Hollywood mock-up from a first-hand witness.
This unsettling footage comes from a man working alone in a warehouse in Peru. He shared not only a video but also a chilling photograph he managed to capture that same night. And let me tell you, it's one of those images that stays with you. It all started when he began hearing the unmistakable sound of a little girl's voice echoing through the warehouse. He was completely alone at the time. He quickly turned his camera around, scanning the area, but there was nothing, just empty aisles and rows of containers, no sign of anyone. But later, he posted a photo he took that same night, and that's where things get creepy. In the image, you can see what looks like a ghostly little girl standing in front of one of the large storage containers. What's even weirder is the two cats are sitting by her feet, one black, one white. They aren't moving, just calmly sitting there beside her. Locals say this warehouse is believed to be haunted by the spirit of a young girl, and judging by this footage and photograph, it seems like she's still very much around. So what do you think? Ever wondered why the Apple logo looks the way it does? I mean, why would you use an apple that looks like parts being bitten off instead of the whole thing? There are many wild theories out there, but this current one might be the wildest. According to the theory, the logo is a representation of the Adam and Eve story. The missing chunk represents the fall of mankind and the many sins we've committed and continue to commit. The theory even adds that Siri is actually Iris spelled backwards. Why is this important? Well, it's a bit of wordplay, but something about the eye watching over you no matter where you go. After all, you always have your iPhone or iPhone. You get what I'm saying? Also, it's believed that the company actually goes back much further than Steve Jobs. It's believed to be an ancient organization that's always existed amongst the elite or higher-ups in society. These individuals work behind the scenes and have been orchestrating the downfall of mankind in each era. The technologies they create are just some of the tools they intend to achieve their aim. I know what you're thinking. It's too much. It's just too ridiculous. Apple? Oh, they look the most evil, right? But, well, maybe it's all a facade. Many in the comments section of the original post agreed. Others thought it was a bit of a stretch. Some mentioned it looked like that so it's not confused with a cherry, but not many were buying it. One thing to keep in mind is one of Apple's earliest flagship products sold for $666.66. That was a lot of money back then, but that's not the focus. Pay attention to the numbers. Do you see it now? Ring a bell? And yes, that's 666, the mark of the beast. I know I've already said too much, but before you dismiss it, please think about it. A man was out late one night, and as he rounded a curb, he noticed something unusual on the road ahead. It was a humanoid figure walking along the street. While it resembled a human in shape, its texture and appearance were ethereal, almost ghostly. The man quietly observed and filmed the figure as it moved away, its eerie presence lingering in the atmosphere. Was this a wandering spirit, a ghost, or something else entirely? Encounters like these often leave more questions than answers, but what do you think this could be? An observer at the beach captured a group of geese flying gracefully over the sea. They started in formation, shifting midway into a straight line. So far, nothing unusual, right? But then, mid-flight, the geese just vanish into thin air. Looking back at the footage, it's clear there's no mist clouds or obstructions that could explain their disappearance. One moment they're there, and the next, it's like they were erased. Could this be a glitch in the simulation, as some suggest, or perhaps a natural optical illusion caused by light refraction over the water? Some mysteries just won't die, and mermaids are one of them. No matter how many times they pop up in legends, sightings, or footage, people stay curious, and when you see this next clip, you'll understand why. Take a close look at this footage. Right beneath the surface of the water, a strange figure swims by. It's not fully human either. You can make out a human-like torso, but the lower half is the classic fishtail shape. The creature seems to glide effortlessly through the water, and for a moment, it makes you wonder if it could be one of the mythical sirens or mermaids we've all heard about. Whether you call them mermaids, sirens, or sea spirits, stories of these beings have existed across cultures for centuries. Oh, and by the way, did you know that in Scotland, they call them the Mahdi Mara? Yeah, that's a bit of information for you. From West Africa's Mami Wata to the Greek sirens to the Celtic Selkies, it seems like every corner of the world has its version. And honestly, no matter how many times this kind of footage comes out, I'm still fascinated. Some say it's all hoaxes, some say it's misidentified marine life, but part of me wonders, what if even one of these sightings was real? Technology was supposed to make us feel safer. With smart locks, door sensors, and home security cameras, you'd think we'd finally be able to sleep easily. But with more and more people investing in home security systems, it's no surprise that weird things occasionally get caught on camera, especially at night. One man decided to randomly check footage from his indoor security camera one afternoon. He didn't expect anything unusual, just a boring clip of someone asleep in the bedroom. But what he saw made his stomach drop. The bedroom door was wide open, and just outside it, moving past in the hallway, was a faint ghostly figure. It was wearing white. Whatever it was, it didn't walk, it glided. At first he thought maybe someone else in the house had gotten up during the night, but after checking with every single person living there, he confirmed that no one had left their rooms, no one was up at that hour, and no one owned white clothing like that. The man is now fully convinced that something paranormal had entered his home. Before this footage, he never had a single ghostly encounter, no strange dreams, nothing out of place, but now he's afraid he's opened a door he cannot close. So what do you think that ghostly figure really was? The Loch Ness Monster is one of the most famous cryptids in the world. For decades, people have argued over whether it truly exists or is nothing more than a legend. Most experts dismiss it as a myth, but believers hold on to every scrap of possible evidence. Recently, a man came forward with something extraordinary. He shared an image that his father had taken many years ago. His father was a fisherman who had spent countless hours out on the open water. One day, while working at sea, he captured something he could never fully explain. The photograph shows a massive dark shape writhing just beneath the surface of the water. A portion of its body breaks the surface, and its sheer size is staggering. Many are calling it one of the clearest pieces of visual evidence for the Loch Ness Monster ever seen. The story takes an even stranger turn. The man explained that his father had never shared the image while he was alive because suspicious people came home and demanded he destroy the evidence of the creature. That fear kept the photograph hidden in their home for years. After his father passed away, the son decided it was time to reveal the secret. What do you make of it? Could this be real proof of a creature that has eluded capture for generations, or is it simply another mysterious photograph that will keep the legend alive? A homeowner was left completely shocked when they reviewed footage from their security camera one night. They noticed something strange inside the parked car. The camera was pointed toward the vehicle, and in the back seat near the trunk, something caught their eye. There was a face of a child peeking out from behind the seat, staring out. The car was completely locked, and no one had been inside it that day. There was no sign of a break-in, no open doors, and no explanation as to how anything or anyone could have gotten inside. Some people say it might have been a doll or a reflection, and others think it was just AI trickery. But if you look closely, the face appears too detailed, like it belonged to a real little boy. So, was it a child spirit, or perhaps a leftover imprint from something that happened once in the car? Look at the image again. What do you see? Most people think they know what Bigfoot looks like, the tall, upright, walking like a human. But what happens when something doesn't fit the usual image? Well, that's when things get interesting. A man shared some shaky footage he captured while out walking in the woods. At first glance, well, it's easy to brush off until you hear what he says he saw. According to him, this creature was originally walking on two legs like a typical Bigfoot, but then it suddenly dropped down and charged at him on all fours. The creature looks ape-like, but not massive. It wasn't as big as the Bigfoot we usually hear about. That's why the man believes it may have been a juvenile Bigfoot. Now, the footage itself shows a creature down on all fours. It's quick, dark, and difficult to make out clearly. But crawling on all fours, that's not typical for Bigfoot sightings. Most reports describe them as strictly bipedal. So is this a young Sasquatch adjusting to its limbs, or are we looking at something else entirely? It's hard to say for sure. If Bigfoot is out there, maybe we've only seen the adults, maybe the young ones behave differently, or maybe, just maybe, we're all being fooled. Let me know what you think in the comments. Sometimes the ocean doesn't just wash up shells or driftwood, it brings something out of nightmares. This footage comes from the Philippines and is said to have been recorded back in 2022. What washed ashore left locals stunned and the internet buzzing. It was a massive, white creature that lay dead on the beach. It wasn't like any ordinary sea creature. This thing had raised a sharp, almost human-like teeth set deep inside a wide, gaping mouth. The kind of teeth that weren't made for grazing, they were made for tearing. Men crowded around the body, confused and disturbed. Some poked at it, while others just stared. It didn't like any known fish, whale, or marine animal. It had thick white hair all over it, and the jaw looked predatory. Some locals said it might be a cryptid, others said it could have come from the deepest parts of the sea. But as with any strange discovery, there were skeptics. Some claimed it was just a decomposed whale, bloated beyond recognition. Others called it an elaborate hoax. But what do you think it is? This image was captured by a trail camera in the middle of the night, and it's got people creeped out. The figure in the photograph looks like a human, but not quite. According to the owner of the Trailcam, this still frame was pulled from a video recording, and the figure appeared in only one frame and then vanished. That alone rules out the idea of it being someone walking through the area. If it were just a person passing by, they'd show up in several frames, right? But this one appeared for a split second and then was gone. Looking closer, the figure appears to be walking with its head bent low. The arms seem to be on its abdomen, and the legs are mid-step as if caught right in the middle of motion, but the shape just feels off. Some are calling it a ghost, others wonder if it's some kind of skinwalker or interdimensional being. The eerie part is that no other animals triggered the cam before or after this moment, and there was no sound or trace of anyone being nearby. So did this trail cam really capture something paranormal? I'll let you guys be the judge of that. A mother was left completely shaken after seeing this footage on a baby monitor later at night. The camera set up to watch over a sleeping baby captured this wispy white smoke-like figure floating slowly back and forth above the crib. The baby slept peacefully underneath it, unaware of what was happening. The mother was alarmed. She had no idea what it could be, and no one was in the room, and there were no known sources of smoke or mist. After sharing the video, people online were divided. Some viewers believe it's a guardian angel watching over the child, offering comfort and protection. Others are more skeptical and are suggesting it could be a negative spirit or a paranormal entity with unknown intentions. There are also more grounded explanations that it might just be dust on the lens, a spider web, or even the camera picking up moisture or light reflections. Still, no one has been able to fully explain the movement or how it appeared only above the baby and nowhere else in the room. So what do you see in this mysterious footage? A trick of the camera or something not of this world? What do we have here? A tank full of strange slug-like creatures suddenly losing their minds. And no, this isn't a horror movie, it's real life. Let's take a closer look. They're long, slimy, and squirming all over each other. So what exactly are we looking at? These are lampreys. They're an invasive species known for their creepy eel-like bodies and circular suction cup mouths filled with rows of sharp teeth. They're notorious for attaching themselves to other fish and sucking the life out of them. They're hard to get rid of, and in some waters, they've become a serious problem. But in this footage, it looks like something triggered them. The most likely explanation is that someone might have added the scent of a dead lamprey into the water. Yeah, you heard that right. One method people use to deter or control lampreys involves adding the smell of their dead into the water. They hate it and go into a panic. Based on how these ones are acting, that could very well be what's happening here.
Are you talking?
They say walls remember things, and when a house has a dark past, like being a former funeral home, well, it's only a matter of time before something starts reaching through. This particular house you're looking at isn't just old, it's reportedly a former funeral home. So from the very beginning, the odds of peace are not that great. A man bought the property and moved in, not knowing just how strange things were to get. What started as a new beginning quickly became a daily encounter with the unexplained. One night, he was in his room when he suddenly heard a low, strange, almost human-like sound coming from somewhere down the hall. He grabbed his camera and stepped out to investigate, but he saw nothing. But as he turned into his room, an unseen entity appeared directly in front of him out of nowhere. It spooked him so badly that you can hear his reaction in the video, and you can see the thing on camera. It's dark and humanoid in shape. It looks like a solid black shadow, clearer than most typical ghost footage, not some blurry smudge. This thing had form. According to the man, encounters like this are nearly a daily occurrence in the house. He's seen these figures so often, they become a part of his routine. But even with all that experience, it's obvious from his reaction he never really got used to them. And then there's another clip. In this one, a dark figure can be seen outside the house, standing completely still, just staring into his room from the window. And honestly, that one might be even more disturbing than the one inside. So are these spirits lingering from the house's past as a funeral home? Are they entities drawn to the energy of the place?
Are you talking?
When you go to those cute little photo booths at the mall, you're usually expecting to make silly faces, fun poses, and maybe a memory to stick on your fridge, not a paranormal surprise. Two girls shared a strip of photographs they'd taken together, but when they looked closely, they noticed something chilling. Between them in the second photo, a face appears. It was a distinct image of an older man smiling directly at the camera. By the third and fourth photographs, the face starts to fade, and by the last shot, it's gone completely. What makes it eerie is that neither of the girls recognized the man, and he definitely wasn't in the booth with them. It wasn't a passing stranger, and the positioning makes it unlikely to be a simple reflection. So was this an optical illusion, or is there something in that booth that decided to join them in for the snapshot? Do you remember when the Catholic Church warned us that we could begin to see a phenomenon of demons moving more openly in the world? Well, since then, many people claim to have noticed a disturbing rise in what they describe as demonic faces appearing during certain moments, and these sightings seem to happen most often with celebrities while they're performing. From global superstars like Beyoncé to countless others, the claims have only grown. In one particular case, we have footage of a singer performing live at a concert. At first, everything seems normal, but in a split second, his face changes. His eyes darken unnaturally, almost turning black, and his facial features twist in a way that seems unnatural. His forehead and jawline tighten. Those who believe in this phenomenon say it's not just a trick of the lights or a camera glitch. They argue it's a brief unveiling of something spiritual showing itself through the performer. Others dismiss it as a coincidence or a distortion, but the footage continues to circulate online. So what do you think?
You must first blow all the air out of your lungs. I get wrecked. Did it work? Did it work? Yeah, it worked.
You know that fun party trick when you inhale helium from a balloon and your voice turns into Alvin and the Chipmunks? It's all laughs. Until it's not. Because as harmless as it seems, inhaling helium can actually be dangerous, as this girl found out the hard way.
No, tú no, hijo, no, hace que te haga daño eso. ¿Qué pasa? ¡Ey! ¡Luz Daniela! ¿Qué te pasa? ¡Luz Daniela! ¡Luz Daniela! ¡Luz Daniela! ¡Luz Daniela! ¿Qué te pasa?
¿Qué te pasa de qué?
¡Luz Daniela, qué te pasa?
¿Qué me pasa de qué?
¿Por qué te pusiste morada?
She was in the car with her little sister and her mother, just having some fun. Sitting in the front seat next to her mom, she inhaled from a helium balloon, giggling as that squeaky cartoon voice kicked in. But then, just as suddenly, it all went wrong. The moment she inhaled again, her body went stiff, her head slumped to the side, and she stopped responding. Her mom noticed and panicked, yelling her name, trying to wake her up. Thankfully, after a few terrifying moments, she came back to herself, confused, dazed, and completely unaware of what just happened. Turns out, when you inhale too much helium, you're not breathing in oxygen. Just one deep breath can cause you to pass out, or worse, because your brain isn't getting what it needs. Yeah, it can be fatal. So yeah, it might sound funny at first, but helium isn't a joke. This girl was lucky. Her mom acted fast, but not everyone gets that second chance. So the next time you see a balloon, maybe skip the chipmunk voice impression.
No, tú no, hijo, no, hace que te haga daño eso. ¿Qué pasa? ¡Ey! ¡Luz Daniela! ¿Qué te pasa? ¡Luz Daniela! ¡Luz Daniela! ¡Luz Daniela! ¡Luz Daniela! ¿Qué te pasa?
¿Qué te pasa de qué?
¡Luz Daniela, qué te pasa?
¿Qué me pasa de qué?
¿Por qué te pusiste morada?
All right, y'all, we're down here at the truck stop. You don't believe in UFOs? Look at that man. A f***ing UFO flying around this morning.
This clip was captured by an individual named Randy Ayers in California. The individual filming was so excited by what he saw, he was calling out all non-believers in UFOs. It appears to have been recorded at a truck stop in broad daylight. There's a combination you seldom see when you see UFO clips, and to be fair, we don't exactly see the whole craft, but we see enough to suggest it's something alien. I mean, do you know any human crafts that look like this? No, right? Not long after Randy shared this clip, another was shared from California. This was also allegedly recorded in California, but at night. So why are UFOs being picked up around this area, especially in California? Is there a coming wave we need to be aware of, or are Californians just making things up? None of my team members live in California, so we're unable to verify. If you live there and have experienced strange things, you know what to do. Kindly send us a mail, classifiedcaptures@gmail.com. Have you heard about a new breakthrough remedy for eyesight in older folks? An FDA-approved eye drop has just been released, and it's specifically designed for people whose vision is fading with age. What makes it so remarkable is the claim that it can actually reverse eyesight deterioration. Someone who is 70 years old and struggling to read, drive, or even recognize faces could, in time, regain the vision of a healthy 20-year-old. That means sharper details, brighter colors, and the ability to see clearly without relying on thick glasses or constant squinting. The product is called Viz, and it's being hailed as a game changer. Early reports suggest it works by targeting the age-related changes in the eyes that cause blurriness, poor focus, and difficulty seeing in low light. With regular use, it may restore natural clarity that many thought was gone forever. For countless older people, being able to read a book without magnifiers, spot a grandchild waving from far away, or enjoy a sunset in perfect focus could soon become a reality again. This clip is making waves online. A small, pale worm twisting and jerking like it's got a mind of its own. The claim? It was pulled from someone's eyeball in West Africa. Now, on the logical side, parasitic worms in the eye aren't exactly unheard of. There's loa loa, often called the African eyeworm, which can wriggle its way under the skin and even across the surface of the eye. But here's the strange part. Why are parasites suddenly becoming a hot topic in the wellness space? Were these creatures always there, hidden in plain sight while doctors chase symptoms instead of the root cause? How many people went untreated because no one thought to look for them? And then comes the more unsettling question. Are we just seeing more of them now because cameras are everywhere, or is there actually an increase in this bizarre infestation? If so, what's changed in our environment or bodies to make it happen? Parasites from nature or something stranger? What do you think? Could this be a real case of loa loa, or is there more going on that we're being told? These two girls were just trying to take a photograph together at the Alabama Theater in Birmingham. It's known as one of the most haunted places in the entire city. It's old, grand, and full of eerie energy. But when they checked the picture afterward, they caught something they definitely weren't expecting. Right behind them in the shot, two figures that weren't there when the photograph was taken. The first looks like a woman. She's tall, with long black hair and a strikingly white face. Her eyes seem sunken with dark curves or shadows surrounding them, almost like she's wearing some kind of mask or heavy makeup. It's almost doll-like, but not in a good way. The second figure is even more unsettling. Standing nearby is a darker presence like a shadow. And when you look closer, it resembles a man in a long dark robe, but you can't make out his face. Neither of them were seen by the girls at the time, but they were clearly there in the photograph. It's obvious what they are. There's something unsettling about walking alone at night. The silence can feel too loud, and you get the feeling that something or someone is watching. For one person, that eerie feeling turned out to be horrifyingly real. Someone was out for a walk one quiet night when they happened to look up, and what they saw made their blood run cold. There, high up in the branches, were a pair of glowing eyes staring down at them. At first, it might have seemed like an animal, but as their eyes adjusted, they realized those eyes weren't from any owl or raccoon. No, they were set in something human-shaped. The head was distinctly human and pale, with an outline that stood out eerily against the night sky. It didn't blink, it just watched. That pretty much rules out most common nocturnal animals. No owl or opossum has a head shaped like that, or eyes that feel like they're staring straight into your soul. Some who've seen the image believe it might be a rake, others say it's a skinwalker. We couldn't see its full body, so we cannot conclude, but what do you think was watching from the trees that night? We keep saying that a time is coming when robots will take over, and honestly, looking at what we have now, they already seem indestructible. But scientists aren't stopping there. They're pushing the limits even further, trying to create robots that can't be destroyed at all. Take this one, for example. It was inspired by a sea cucumber, of all things, and it was built using gallium, which is a metal that can melt at body temperature. This robot can literally liquefy itself, slip through tight spaces, and then reform into its original shape. Why does this matter? Because it means we're entering an era where machines aren't just strong or smart, they're able to shapeshift, escape, regenerate, and survive in extreme conditions. Today, it's a cool experiment, but tomorrow it could be military tech, emergency rescue bots, or even medical nanobots inside our bodies. Would you trust something like this in your house or even near you? This video has sparked a heated discussion about plane travel and passenger weight. It shows a woman being carried up the stairs to a plane by more than 6 men because she was too heavy to walk up on her own. The scene has left many people questioning whether she's paying extra for her ticket. After all, passengers are often charged high fees for even a small amount of extra luggage. So should people be able to board with that much additional body weight without it affecting the cost? Some feel it's unfair to them to pay the same amount as she is paying, while others feel having someone like her on board isn't safe. Now, when it comes to things like that, it's a bit sensitive, so I'm going to avoid speaking too much about it. Not everyone who is this weight becomes so through life choices. For some, it's a medical condition they have no control over. Regardless, what are your thoughts on this? Please be respectful and considerate when sharing your thoughts, because we'll be reading the comments. Have you ever noticed how almost every device you own, from your TV, your charger, your speaker, your router, has a small blue light on it? It might seem harmless, but there's a deeper and much stranger story behind why that little glow is everywhere. I came across some bizarre footage that breaks it all down, and according to it, the obsession with blue lights didn't start in tech labs or corporate design rooms. It started with the mafia. Back in the day, Vegas mobsters reportedly discovered that slot machines with soft blue lighting kept people locked in. Gamblers would zone out, linger longer, and pour in more money. That glow had a kind of hypnotic spell. Once word got out, the technique didn't stay in Vegas for long. The CIA caught wind of this blue light trick and began experimenting with it during the infamous MK Ultra program. After that, blue lights went mainstream. Now we see them everywhere, in our homes, on our phones, on our devices. What started as a psychological manipulation tool may have been quietly folded into daily life, and no one questioned it. Think about it. We're staring at our screens for hours, often late at night, with blue light blasting into our eyes. It messes with our sleep, it keeps us hooked, it might even help keep us suggestible, all from something as simple as a glow. Does it mean we're living in a digital trance, hypnotized by one notification at a time? I'm not exactly sure where this footage was taken, but just look at this sky. Something mesmerizing is happening up there. Hovering above a city is the glowing orb, and from it, beams of light shoot out in all directions. It's almost hypnotic the way the lights dance across the clouds and shift like they're alive. The first thing people shouted was UFO, but let's not jump to conclusions too fast. If you look closely, the light doesn't behave like a solid object. There's no visible structure, just projections. That's got a lot of people thinking it could be a hologram display, and honestly, that theory makes sense. Hologram technology has gotten so good recently that it can easily fool the eye. We've seen entire light shows in the sky, concerts with virtual performers, and even drone displays that mimic flying objects. What do you think this was? In Germany, there's a cryptid locals refer to as the monarch monster. It's a creature that shares eerie similarities with the American werewolf the Dogman. It's a large, upright walking beast with glowing eyes and a wolf-like snout. It's said to roam deep forest regions, especially near old folklore sites. On August the 4th, 2025, a hunter shared a chilling photograph taken with one of Germany's more ominous forest trails, an area known as the Devil's Path. In the image, you can make out a tall, upright figure with glowing eyes that's staring directly into the camera. Its body is mostly obscured by shadow, but the snout and upright posture are unmistakable. The glow from its eyes adds a terrifying edge to the already dark and grainy shot. Locals claim this trail has always had strange energy. Long ago, tales of the monarch monster warned travelers never to walk that path alone at night. Some believed it was one of the cursed souls. Others said it was an ancient forest guardian that was cursed. Now, with this new footage, the legend seems to have resurfaced. But is this photo genuine evidence of the monarch monster or just a hoax? A woman thought she was just sharing a wholesome moment of her toddler happily climbing on and off the couch, totally focused on his little game. She filmed it, posted it online, and expected people to smile at her son's new hobby. But instead of commenting on how cute he was, viewers pointed out something unsettling. In the doorway leading to a bedroom low to the ground, a pale face seems to be peeking out, watching the little boy intently. It stayed there for several seconds, never breaking its gaze before slowly retreating back into the room. The mother does have a daughter, so some assumed it was her, but she insists this face was much paler, smaller, and the way it's tilted its head looked unnatural. Others think it could be a trick of the light, while some viewers are convinced it's something paranormal like a ghost, a spirit, or maybe even an attachment to the child. There's something about the Appalachian Mountains. Beautiful, sure, but beneath all that nature and silence, something strange always seems to be watching. And if you know anything about the folklore, then you know it's not always just animals out there. This woman was on a solo trip, just her and a dog, staying at a rented house in the Appalachian Mountains. And one afternoon, they were outside filming a cute little video. It was peaceful until suddenly it wasn't. From out of nowhere, this loud, spine-chilling scream ripped through the air. It came from the direction of the nearby woods. You can hear it in the footage, a mix between a woman shrieking and something completely unnatural, almost like it wasn't meant to come from a human. The dog heard it too. Immediately, it turned toward the trees, ears perked up, alert. It barked a few times, clearly disturbed. That was enough for her. She grabbed the dog and headed straight back into the house, locking the door behind her. She had no idea what it could have been, but for anyone familiar with the region, this could be anything. The Appalachian Mountains aren't just scenic, they are strange. From unexplained lights to phantom screams and sightings of bizarre creatures, this place is like a magnet for the paranormal. We're talking cryptids, spirit folklore, even whispers of things like the knot, deer, or skinwalkers, and beings you don't want to run into, especially alone at night. So what do you think made that sound? Have you ever found something in your house that makes you stop and question everything? Well, this woman definitely did. She'd been living in the house for about a year until she decided to rearrange some furniture. Specifically, she moved 2 very large bookshelves in one of the rooms, and that's when she found it. A door. Not just any door, but one that had clearly been taped shut and deliberately hidden behind those shelves. She called in for some help, and they opened the door. And what did they find? A staircase leading up to a large, hidden room. Turns out it was a spacious attic, one she never knew existed. Now, if you've watched enough horror movies, you know that attics aren't just dusty storage spaces, and the fact that this one was completely sealed off, it's making people suspicious. Online folks are saying the attic was sealed because something dark and dangerous was up there, like an entity, perhaps? Something the previous owners didn't want getting out or being found. But on the flip side, some are saying the internet is just spiraling. It could just be an old, unused attic, and the tape was meant to keep dust or animals out. But what do you think?
Oh!
I mean, you're not gonna hang out up here, but...
Oh, come on. Oh, motherfucker.
You could actually convert this into a pretty sweet, like...
Dang! That's actually pretty cool.
In this clip, we see a man standing in what looks like a remote desert-like landscape, claiming he's the first to locate Mel's hole in over 30 years. The camera pans over a jagged opening in the ground, dark, deep, and eerily quiet. For those unfamiliar, Mel's Hole is one of the most enduring legends in paranormal lore. It entered public consciousness in the late 1990s when a man calling himself Mel Waters phoned into a radio show claiming there was a bottomless pit on his rural Washington property. He said strange things happened around it, animals avoiding it, objects thrown in never making a sound when they landed, and even bizarre tales of revived animals. Over the years, it's been linked to everything from secret government experiments to portals to other dimensions. But here's the big question. If this man really found the infamous hole, well, what's next, and how can we even be sure that's the real deal? Opinions were divided in the community, with some suggesting that perhaps it was time to ditch the campfire stories and send in a drone or specialized equipment to finally see just how deep this thing really goes, if it even has a bottom. If you ask me, that sounds logical, but what do you think? Genuine discovery or just another chapter in Mel's history? Driving is definitely not for the faint of heart. Anyone who's been on the road long enough knows that you have to stay alert at all times because anything can happen in a split second. One man recently learned this in the most chilling way. He was driving at night, just taking a calm ride on a quiet road when something strange happened. Out of nowhere, a thick fog rolled across the street. Nothing unusual at first, but then a truck appeared barreling straight towards his car. Except this wasn't a normal truck. According to the driver and footage captured by his dash cam, it was a ghost truck. The vehicle came out of the fog and headed directly toward him, but just as it seemed there would be a head-on collision, it vanished into thin air. Thankfully, the driver stayed calm and didn't swerve or hurt himself, but he was shaken. It looks like a ghostly replay of a tragic past accident or something else. So, next time you're out driving alone at night, keep your eyes open. You never know what's out there. The clip you're seeing on your screens was captured by a CCTV cam in a remote area. The motorcycle seemingly lost control on a rainy day and crashed. People rushed to his aid, but instead of admitting the rain may have contributed to the unfortunate circumstance, he claims he saw something, a dark being. Instead of accusing him and telling him he was seeing things like he expected to hear after making the confession, everyone present became quiet. This was allegedly something that happened in the community over and over. They had a cemetery nearby, and the individuals were suspecting that the spirits from the cemetery come out to roam at night. When the CCTV camera footage was reviewed, they found a shadowy being or creature showing up on the opposite side of the street just around the time the man appeared and crashed. This, to many, was proof that the man had indeed encountered an otherworldly being. While many in the paranormal community found this interesting, a few others felt it was basically the shadow of a person and nothing more. This one's a bit tricky, but take a good look and tell me what you think. Bungee jumping is one of those things that looks thrilling from a distance, but up close, well, it's a whole different story, especially in places like China where it's become incredibly popular and viral videos pop up every other day. But with popularity comes risk, and sometimes people get so caught up in the thrill that they forget one very important detail: safety. Recently, a video went viral of a man leaping off a cliff for a bungee jump, except it looked like he wasn't strapped in at all. No visible safety cords, nothing, just pure freefall. So the internet freaked out. People started digging into the video to figure out what had happened. Thankfully, it turned out he was secured. Well, sort of. If you look closely, you'll see that instead of the usual setup of multiple visible cords, he was only hooked to a single blue rope. That one cord was strong enough to catch him and bring him back safely, but honestly, it was cutting it way too close for comfort. In most bungee jumps, multiple cords and checks are part of the standard setup. This looks sloppy, and if that one cord had failed, the outcome would have been fatal. So while bungee jumping might give you the adrenaline rush of a lifetime, don't let the excitement rush your safety checks. Always make sure every single rope is secured, double-checked and verified, because in this game, there's no second chance mid-air.
Готов. Готовы? Внимание, прыжок. Ready, set, go!
Not everyone believes in the crop circle conspiracy. Many dismiss it as a hoax, but others insist it's real. In fact, it's a hard topic to ignore when there are clips like what's playing on your screen. The first two come from the same farmer who recorded them after noticing unusual activity in his fields. In the first video, filmed at night, we see the plants flattening outward from a central point, forming a perfect circular design. The second video, also taken on his property, shows orbs of light gliding low over the crops. They move in deliberate circular motions as if tracing the patterns before they disappear. The third piece of footage was captured by a dash cam in a car driving past another farm late at night. In the distance, strange lights can be seen rotating in the air. Many believe these are undeniable signs of extraterrestrial involvement. Others claim it's nothing more than advanced human-made tricks, possibly using drones or specialized equipment. To this day, no one can explain how such complex formations appear so quickly and without a trace of human presence. What do you think? Are these genuine signs from beyond our world, or simply another elaborate hoax? So, this is one of the most advanced robots you're ever going to come across. It's a humanoid robot developed by Clone Robotics, with about 206 polymer bones mirroring the same number of bones in your body. Why are we bringing it up again? Well, some think this robot, named Proto-Clone, is the first step to developing our own series of Terminator robots that will end all human life. You saw it here the first time we shared it, and you're seeing it again now. So what do you think? Sometimes it's not about what you hear in the night, it's what you finally see when the cameras start rolling. And in this case, what a family caught on tape might just explain the strange things haunting their home. A family had been dealing with weird disturbances for months. Every night, like clockwork, strange noises echoed from the backyard, from bumps to rustling and the feeling that something or someone was out there. But whenever they checked, nothing. No signs of an intruder. So finally they decided to set up a camera, and what they captured one night left them stunned. In the middle of the night, the footage shows a dark, shadowy figure crawling across the wall. Then, without warning, it seems to leap or drop into the house. The figure is dark, small, and moves unnaturally fast. Now, the family believes this is the entity that's been haunting them all along, but here's where it gets interesting. If you watch the footage closely, the way it moves quickly, sleek, and low to the ground and looks like a cat, there's this odd coiled movement that reminds me of how a cat might spring off of something. But that's just my take, though. What do you think? Some of the creepiest encounters happen when you're just minding your own business until something catches your eye. And sometimes it's what's not there anymore that chills you to the bone. A man was out late doing some deliveries in the middle of the night when he saw something strange. On the side of the road, just to the right, he noticed a child, a small figure sitting on a swing, gently rocking back and forth in the dark. It immediately struck him as odd. It was late. There weren't any nearby houses. Why would a child be out alone at that hour? Curious and a bit concerned, he slowed down and pulled over to get a better closer look. Maybe it was just his eyes playing tricks on him, but when he turned to check again, the child was gone. No one was there. Just the swing, still rocking slowly back and forth as if someone had just been sitting on it seconds ago. He said the air around him felt cold, like the temperature had dropped. There were no sounds, just the eerie creaking of the swing in the wind. Or was it wind? Some are saying it was a ghost child, others saying it's just a creepy coincidence. But either way, that swing didn't move on its own. This eerie footage comes from Mexico, and to this day, it remains a complete mystery. The video shows what looks like an older woman crouched on the ground, dressed in ordinary clothes, but there's something almost about her that feels off. At first, she might seem harmless, but then you notice her hands. Her fingers appear to be long, gnarled, and claw-like. They're larger than a normal person's hands, with an unnatural curve that makes them look like talons. That alone has sent the internet into a frenzy. According to locals, this woman is a witch who is said to visit the village often, appearing and disappearing without a trace. Some say she curses crops, others say she watches children from the trees. But some argue that old age or illness might have distorted her movements or appearance, or that the video could have been digitally altered to exaggerate her hands and make her look more sinister. After all, with enough editing, anyone could be made to look like something they're not. Still, when you watch the clip, there's an unsettling vibe that's hard to shake. Something about the way she moves, the way her fingers stretch. So, is this poor old woman being falsely accused before the superstition, or is this a real witch? Sometimes when we get sick, doctors have to give us general medications that target all the symptoms before they can identify the main problem. But by the time they get to the root cause, the liver may have already taken a beating from all those unnecessary drugs. But science may have found a breakthrough solution. Researchers are now developing tiny nano-robots, some as small as a grain of rice or even smaller. These microscopic machines are designed to deliver medication directly to the affected areas in the body, targeting only what's sick and leaving the rest of your body untouched. That means less strain on your liver and organs, faster healing, and fewer side effects. With technology like this, our average lifespan might jump from the 80s into the hundreds or even beyond. The future of medicine is getting incredibly smart. If you've worked a late night shift in your life, then perhaps you can relate to this video. The young man you see in the clip is a cleaner by profession, and he was working at the underground level of the hospital late at night when he was interrupted. An older lady tugs his shirt and tells him she's lost. She then tells him where she wants to go and asks for directions. He leads her to the elevator and sets the right floor for her. As she gets in, he holds the door, and once she's safely in, she thanked him and then uttered some chilling words. "Thank you so much. I'm grateful even though I couldn't see your face." At first, the words don't register, and he smiles and waves back. After the lady leaves, he feels a chill and dread. It was as if though the lady he encountered was not of this world, but that shouldn't be possible, right? He asked himself these questions over and over. While thinking about the whole thing, he spots the CCTV camera and then runs to the tech team to beg them to watch it. He wanted to see the footage. When he saw the footage, his jaw dropped. Why? He was the only one in the clip. There was no old lady. He looked like a crazy person talking to himself. He swore he was not alone and that he even smelt a perfume. Some in the paranormal community believe him. They shared their own experiences. Others also believe he was imagining things due to exhaustion. But you've seen the clip, so what do you also think? If you thought the worst soda experience was just losing the fizz, think again, because what one person found at the bottom of their can will haunt you until the next time you pop one open. So here's what happened. Someone had just finished drinking an entire can of soda, but then they noticed something odd. Maybe the taste was off, maybe the weight of the can still felt a little heavy. Curious, they peeked into the drinking hole, and there it was, a dead rat. They drank the entire thing, not knowing a decomposing rodent had been marinating in there the whole time. Just imagine that. The flavor must have been weird, the smell probably off, but still they drank it all. People are wondering how something like this could even happen. Was it a freak accident during packaging, or just the worst quality control fail in history? Whatever the case, this is your not-so-friendly reminder to check your drinks, because next time, it might not just be bubbles you're sipping. What would you do if you found something like this inside your soda? What exactly are we looking at here? This airy face was caught on a trail camera late at night, and it's one of the strangest things people have seen in the woods. The creature appears to have pale white skin and a face that almost resembles a giant rat, but not quite. It's humanoid, but not human too. You can't see the full body, just part of the head and nose, and both seem to be slightly out of frame. It doesn't look like a person in a costume. The skin texture, the eyes, even the way the head is shaped is not human. And even if it was someone wearing a mask, who would be walking around deep in the woods at night alone dressed like this? Some say it might be AI generated or a hoax, but others believe this could be a cryptid. Whatever it is, it's not easy to explain. And if you saw this staring in your trail cam in the dead of night, well, you wouldn't sleep well. So what do you make of it? You think humans are the only ones who make deals to benefit themselves? Well, think again. Nature has its own little alliances, and some of them are surprising. Did you know that tarantulas and frogs have a strange but fascinating relationship? Tarantulas are known to be fierce predators in the wild, but they're also incredibly smart. In some parts of the world, researchers have discovered that certain tarantulas don't eat small frogs when they come across them. Instead, they do something unexpected. They let them stay with them. It turns out these tiny frogs help protect the tarantula's eggs by eating small insects and flies that would otherwise harm the spiderlings. In return, the tarantula acts like a bodyguard, protecting the frog from snakes and other predators that might see it as an easy meal. Once the tarantula's eggs hatch, the bond doesn't always end there. Sometimes the frog sticks around like a pet, living peacefully with its massive 8-legged host. Other times, it just hops off and goes on its way. Who would have thought a deadly spider and a tiny frog could form that kind of friendship? Nature really is full of surprises. Have you ever heard of this before? You never really think much about a storage room, just boxes, shelves, and dust, but sometimes these forgotten spaces hold more than just old belongings. This eerie footage was shared from a security camera set up inside a storage room. At first, it looks like just another dimly lit space with shelves scattered with boxes and quiet. But then, something moves. A transparent figure can be seen walking through the storage area. It moves like it's searching for something. The figure is faint, almost see-through, but clear enough to make out the human-like shape. Now, there's no solid history of death or tragedy tied to this building, at least not that we know of, but sightings like this always have a backstory. So what do you think the spirit could be? A restless soul searching for something lost? Or maybe this space holds a past no one wants to talk about? Sometimes the scariest things don't happen in the dark. They show up in plain view when you least expect them, like in your mirror. This woman had just come back home from a day out. She cleaned up, got comfortable, sat in front of her mirror to relax. Her cat lay beside her, scratching and purring as they played together. It was a wholesome moment. So she decided to record it. Nothing drastic, just her cat, and the quiet. The camera was positioned facing the mirror, capturing both her and her cat in the reflection. But when she watched the footage back, something was wrong. In the mirror's reflection, there weren't just the two of them. There was a third presence. Its face was positioned just behind her, watching. And at that moment, well, she felt nothing. It was just a normal evening. But in the footage, that face is undeniable. A pale, expressionless face staring intently at her and her cat from just behind her shoulder. People who've seen the video are torn. Some think it's a glitch or a double exposure. Others say it's a spirit that made itself known through the mirror. What do you think? While you share your thoughts on that, enjoy these 4 new clips of what look like UFO sightings that mainstream media will not show you. In the first clip, we see what looks like clouds moving at an accelerated speed throughout the atmosphere. Once more, these clouds do not look normal. Instead, they look like someone is using the appearance of the clouds to hide his or her presence. If this were land, we could have come up with a logical theory to explain them, but here lies the case. This is happening in the sky. Which other craft do you know would want to hide in the sky without being noticed? Did you say UFO? Well. Looks like I'm not the only one who thought that. Moving on to the second clip, we see something equally strange. Instead of clouds, this time, however, we're introduced to what looks like flames of something in the sky. This particular one was captured in Menifee, California. Those recording and commenting state it's unusually huge. From that clip, we move all the way to Phoenix, Arizona, where a man's phone glitches when he tries to record a plane far away from him. According to him, that specific plane had been hovering over that same area for more than 15 minutes. That's what prompted him to record. He's convinced it's alien, and many in the community seem to agree with him. As confusing as that one is, it can't be compared to the fourth video. I mean, just what the hell is this? This comes from Dallas, Texas, and frankly, I don't have words for it. Do you think all 4 clips are legit? Let's hear your thoughts in the comments section. If you love mermaids, chances are you would love this one too. That is, if you think they're real. This is another blast from our past videos, one you wrote to us saying you didn't like the conclusion of on the last subject. The individual stated that he believed without a question that this was real footage and didn't understand why we couldn't emphatically state so. I believe in the power of democracy, which is why I'm bringing it here again. What say you guys on this one? Real or not? This eerie clip goes all the way back to 2016 when a group of people were out exploring the mountainside near Wild Horse Lake in Oregon. They were just taking in the views, snapping some photographs, nothing out of the ordinary, until they caught this. On the far side of the lake, something strange happens. A humanoid figure suddenly emerges from the water and immediately takes off running. Now, if you know anything about Oregon, you know it's a Bigfoot hotspot, so of course, a lot of people were quick to say it was Bigfoot, but not everyone's convinced. Some skeptics think it's just a person out for a swim, maybe someone pulling a prank or just having some fun in the lake. Still, there's something about how fast it runs that keeps people open for debate. So, did this group accidentally film a cryptid, or is it just a wet jogger in the wrong place at the wrong time? There's something deeply unsettling about being watched, especially when you didn't even realize it until after the fact. This woman was out on her patio around 1 a.m. waiting for her husband to get back from work. Their baby was awake too, so she stepped outside with the little one, trying to calm him down in the night air. Their home had a security camera installed, so the whole scene was being recorded. As she gently rocked the baby over her shoulder, something strange happened. The baby suddenly stared toward the gate as if something caught their attention, and that's when the woman started to feel uneasy. As the camera zooms in, you can see a pale, white face barely visible peeking through the gaps in the gate. It wasn't moving much, just watching. The face looked thin, ghostly, and wrong, almost inhuman. At the time she brushed it off, she thought it was her husband playing a prank, but then he walked in at 3 a.m., 2 hours after the sighting. She asked him if he'd come home early to mess with her, and he said no, he hadn't been anywhere near the house. That's when they both reviewed the security footage together, and both were completely shaken. Some say it was a spirit, others think it might have been something more physical, but not exactly human. And the creepiest part is that the baby saw it first. Let me know what you think in the comments. Did you see that? By that, I mean the red beam in the sky. The individual who recorded this stated that there was no reason for what they're seeing in the sky to be there. According to him, it just showed up and he believed it was a UAP, but the more he thought about it, the more he was skeptical. Why would aliens with such advanced technology need to have lights to explore our planet? How much visibility are those lights giving them anyway? Are they doing it for show or intimidation purposes, or are we being lied to? His question provoked a debate within the community, with some stating that everything might not be real. Some even believe that the answer to his question was Project Bluebeam. That is, the government has been projecting these things in the sky to mess with us. I know it's a long shot and a complicated theory, but well, just think about it. Why travel through the vacuum of space on advanced tech to end up on a planet Earth with just a couple of tiny little lights? Everyone wants to know what's really inside the Epstein files. But judging by the way the government is handling the matter, it seems unlikely that we'll ever get the full truth. Official information is scarce and heavily redacted. Still, a few images have surfaced online, and they're strange to say the least. One of the most talked about pictures shows former President Bill Clinton sitting in an office chair dressed in a blue gown with his legs crossed and a knowing smile on his face. Another image appears to show a braided rope with a bride slipping from it. The imagery has raised disturbing questions about its context. These pictures have been passed around on forums, social media, and conspiracy sites, with people speculating about what they might mean and whether they connect to the larger Epstein story. Are they symbolic? Are they staged? Or are they pieces of a puzzle that we're not supposed to put together? Whatever the truth is, the files remain locked away, and all we have are these odd photographs. What do you think they mean? We visit Sao Paulo, Brazil for this next clip. The clip was captured by a group of friends who were left rather stunned by the sight. It happened on May the 2nd, 2025 in Pirapora de Bom Jesus, Sao Paulo, Brazil. The group had their phones out, casually filming the sky when something odd caught their attention, an unusual formation just beneath the clouds. This wasn't your average cloud pattern. It had definition, it had structure, and most bizarre of all, it cast a shadow. The friends could hardly believe what they were seeing. Was it a UFO, a portal, some kind of interdimensional doorway? No one can say for sure, but one thing was clear. It didn't look like anything from this world. They uploaded it seeking answers, and all who saw it were as puzzled as the uploaders. But maybe, just maybe, you guys may be seeing things differently. So what do you think? Something natural or something far stranger? Sometimes it's not what you see that unsettles you. It's what moves without reason. And in this case, the bar wasn't serving just drinks, something else was there. This footage comes from a security camera set up at a bar. You can see a woman behind the counter casually mixing drinks at her station. But as she pours a second drink, the bottle is yanked out of her hand and pulled across the counter by an unseen force. You can tell she's stunned. She just stands there, frozen, trying to process what just happened. No one else is near her, no one is behind the bar, and nothing explains how that bottle moved like that. Let's watch it again. See that? It doesn't look like it was dropped. It doesn't even fall naturally. It glides like something grabbed it and dragged it. Now, the skeptics say it could have been faked, maybe a string tied to the bottle or a magnet trick, but most people have watched the footage, believe it's real. Maybe this bar has a past, or something or someone didn't like how she was mixing those drinks. Technology has advanced to the point where it feels like humans are losing control over their privacy. Take a look at this intriguing yet unsettling footage. A man discovered that his laptop camera had an unexpected ability. It can see through certain types of plastic. He demonstrated this by holding a TV remote up to the camera. To his surprise, the camera revealed the batteries and internal components of the remote, something invisible to the naked eye. This discovery raises disturbing questions. If a simple laptop camera can penetrate plastic, what does this mean for our privacy? Even covering your camera with tape might not be enough if someone manages to exploit similar technology to see through objects. What are your thoughts? Oh my goodness, humanity is doomed. Just take a look at this footage. If you've not seen the movie Life, then you'll not understand why I'm panicking. This dark mass attempting to swallow the crab, and it reminds me of Calvin from the movie. I mean, it just looks the same. Fingers crossed that it's just a case of internet trickery, because if not, we might be looking at a real-life remake of Life, and that's a horror scenario none of us have signed up for. Naturally, I did some digging around and discovered that there's a possibility of it being a marine flatworm. If you don't know anything about these creatures, perhaps you may want to go back and look them up now before you find yourself exclaiming, "We are Venom!" On that note, if you still haven't liked, commented, or subscribed to the channel yet, please do so now before I send that creature after you. On a more serious note, it really helps us out a ton and gives us the opportunity to keep making these videos for you. Please do so and share this video with your friends and family. Thank you very much. A man standing by the ocean at night in Maui, Hawaii, captured something incredibly strange. Just beneath the surface of the water, he noticed a greenish glow. It wasn't a reflection, and it wasn't coming from any nearby lights. The glow seemed to be coming from under the water, like something alive was down there. But here's where it gets weird. He spotted the glow right after an emergency tsunami alert was issued in the area. The timing was too eerie to ignore. Locals were already on edge, bracing for the incoming wave, and then this strange glowing light appeared just off the shore. The man said it remained visible and kept shifting around for nearly 30 minutes as if it were watching or waiting. People online have come up with a bunch of theories about it. Some say it could have been bioluminescent plankton or rare underwater volcanic activity, but others think it might be something far more mysterious. Some believe it could have been a craft or entity beneath the ocean, which might explain the consistent glow in the odd movement. There's even a theory that these things are drawn to natural disasters, either to observe or even cause them. So, was it just nature acting strange, or was it a sign of something hiding under the sea, especially with how remote and mystical the waters around Hawaii are said to be? These days, it might be more important than ever to invest in surveillance cameras because the kind of strange footage people are capturing, well, it's truly unsettling. This particular clip was shared by a woman who had a baby cam set up in a nursery. One morning, she woke up with a motion alert from the camera. Since she was home alone with the baby, she immediately checked the footage, and what she saw left her shaken. As her baby lay peacefully asleep, something unexpected appeared in the frame. From the darkened corner of the room, a hand slowly reaches out, stretching toward the baby. The hand lingers for a moment just inches away from the baby, and then quickly retreats into the shadows. The room was dimly lit, making it impossible to see who or what the hand belonged to. There was no sound anywhere else, and nothing else in the footage gave a clear answer. Now, this has of course triggered all kinds of theories online. Some say the hand seemed to come from the wall itself, suggesting a paranormal entity. Others believe it could have come from a window, raising the terrifying possibility of an intruder trying to reach the child. And the fact that the baby didn't react or wake up makes it all the more chilling. Was it a human intruder or something paranormal? This unsettling video was shared on one of the paranormal platforms, and it caught my attention. According to the uploader, they'd just woken up unexpectedly late at night and had this strong urge to look outside. As they looked out of their bedroom window, they spotted something moving down on the street below, and what they caught on camera was the stuff of nightmares. This creature was crawling across the road, but this wasn't any ordinary animal. It was massive, with its body low to the ground, with long limbs sticking out from the sides like some kind of oversized insect. It moved in this strange motion, and its tail is waving slowly through the air. The person filming was too stunned to speak. You can hear them breathing heavily behind the camera, trying to stay quiet, probably hoping the thing wouldn't notice them watching. Some who saw the video said it looked like an alien, and honestly it did. Not the kind of little green men we see in cartoons, but something far more insectoid and real. Someone even said it looked like a mega octopus, and strangely enough, I get where they're coming from. Could this be a sign that the beings we've speculated about are already here? Maybe the invasion doesn't begin with ships in the sky, but rather starts with one strange creature crawling silently through our neighborhood at 3 a.m. For those of you who love sushi or, honestly, any kind of food, Here's a warning that might make you pause before your next bite. A woman shared a strange and pretty unsettling experience. She'd bought sushi and was eating it in the dark. Everything seemed normal until she got to the last few bites in the paper bowl. That's when she noticed something glowing neon blue. In the dark, her sushi was actually giving off light. Now, unless there's some trendy glow-in-the-dark sushi no one's talking about, well, let's hope not. This is disturbing. So what could make sushi glow like that? Turns out bioluminescent bacteria might be the answer. Some marine organisms carry natural glowing bacteria, especially Photobacterium phosphorum, which can sometimes be found on seafood like shrimp, squid, or certain fish. If seafood isn't stored or handled properly, these bacteria can actively stay and still glow even on your plate. Even though the glow might look cool, it's definitely not something you want to eat. It usually means the food wasn't stored right or is starting to go bad. So always check your food, even in the dark.
Is real. In Japan, researchers just used gene editing to remove the extra chromosome that causes Down syndrome in actual human cells, which is something that obviously everybody thought was impossible. In Brazil, they have an experimental treatment going on where 6 out of 8 paralyzed patients started moving again, and one guy who couldn't walk is now walking and dancing. In Israel, they just pulled off the world's first 3D printed cornea and gave a legally blind woman her sight back, and then the donor also made enough to print 300 more. There are also
That's
brand
pretty
new eye
amazing.
drops the FDA just approved that sharpen your vision for hours, so millions of people might not need reading glasses anymore. France also just built an artificial heart that fully replicates a failing one with no donor needed. French researchers just grew a tiny living pancreas that makes its own insulin, which could end daily injections for diabetics one day. And this isn't just about medicine, because Japan just hit an internet speed 4 million times faster than the US average. And South Korea is currently testing separate walking lanes for fast and slow people so that cities are less stressful. We are living...
Yeah, well, they're never gonna put anything on the TV or in the media that actually is good. Because it's not scary enough. The whole point of the media and the news and everything is to keep us scared. Keep us in a situation where we're afraid and we're down. So I'm really pleased that this guy's brought this out, because this is all really, really good news. Now, I wonder if we're ever going to see this on the actual news at some point, because it would be good, right?
French researchers just grew a tiny living pancreas that makes its own insulin, which could end daily injections for diabetics one day.
With that, we end this episode. Thank you for watching. Do me a favor, if you've got any videos or anything that you want to send us, please do so at classifiedcaptures@gmail.com. And if we like what we see, we'll stick it on the channel. If you want me to give you a shout out in capital letters, please, because that's how I can see it. Let me know who you are, where you're from, what the shout out's about. I've been Steve. This has been Classified Captures. Now do me a favor and share this with as many people as you can, because we need to get the subscriptions up. And if you haven't yet subscribed, do me a favor and subscribe. Mwah.